The language that we use in sales has not kept up with the evolution of sales. One example is the idea of overcoming objections. Hey, it's Iannarino. When I was a young sales manager, just managing my first team, I was teaching them how to cold call. And I picked up the phone and I called a decision maker and I got her on the line. And I said, I'd love to come out and meet with you and introduce myself and my services. Now, I would not use those words now, but those are the words I had available to me at that time for scheduling appointments. And at that time, those words worked pretty well. And I'm doing this in front of a group of salespeople that I'm training. And she responds by saying, listen, now's not a good time. Can I ask you to call me back later? And at that time, to overcome her objection, I said something that sounded like, I could, but I'm only asking you for an appointment and won't take very long to book that. If you just let me know when you'll be available on Thursday, you name the time and I'll be there. And she said, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something right now, and this isn't a good time for me. Can I ask you to call me back? And then I persisted in trying to overcome her objection because I really wanted to book the appointment, and I'm again performing for a group of salespeople. And finally she said, will you just email me some information? And this is about my fourth or fifth round of objections with her. And I said, listen, as good as our 4-color glossy brochures are and as detailed as they are as to our process and how we do what we do, it's not the same as me understanding your needs so that if you ever need us, I'll be able to serve you. And she eventually got so frustrated she hung up the phone on me. And that's what happens sometimes when you're cold calling, and that can happen when you're doing a live demonstration in front of your sales force. So I just moved on to the next call and I continued to teach them. Later on in the day, she called me back and she said, listen, I don't know who you are, but I want you to know how rude you are because I was with my boss and I tried a dozen times to get you off the line and nothing I say caused you to hang up the phone and I had to hang up on you. And I want you to know that I won't do business with somebody who treats me like that. And that's why we don't overcome objections. She had a real concern. Her real concern was that when I called, her boss was standing next to her and she was in the middle of something. Sounds like whatever was happening wasn't very good. And what I did is I added additional stress to a situation that she was already in. And as a young person, I didn't recognize that. And then continuing to persist, all I did instead of creating a relationship is I started to make withdrawals without having an account that was deep enough to cover that. And so that's why we don't overcome objections. And so listen, when somebody says I don't have time, what they're telling you is that they have a concern. And so the language we want to use to talk about this now is resolving real concerns, because they're concerned that you don't have any chops, you don't have any real business acumen, you don't have any kind of insights to share with them, that you're going to come out and talk about yourself and your company and your solution, and you're going to pitch them. So the reason they're saying this is not that they don't really have time, it's that they don't have time for you because they didn't hear something in your pitch that sounded value creating for them. And when you ask a question like, who else on your team is going to help you make this decision? And the person says, I have the authority to make this decision on my own. And you know it's not true. You have to understand that their real concern is as I start going horizontally across the organization and I bring in IT and I bring in marketing and I bring other people in, they're going to have an opinion and they're going to change what I'm doing here, and I don't want that to happen. And as we go up and down, you bring my boss in, then he's going to have opinions, and you bring in some peers and they're going to have opinions, and this is going to get away from me, or I might be embarrassed by it, or something's going to happen. So unless you think, how do I find out what their real concern is, share with them what the real danger is, and then help them find a way to move forward, you're back to overcoming objections. And overcoming someone's objections is not the same as resolving their concerns. So if you want to be trusted, if you want to be consultative, if you want lifetime relationships, and if you really want to help people change, you'll focus on resolving concerns, not overcoming objections. And I hope that you won't object to me asking you to hit the subscribe button. I'm Iannarino. See you tomorrow, because this is every day.